Get ready to blast into action in this episode of First 30 Podcast as we enter the world of Wizordum by Emberheart Games, a retro-style FPS echoing the legendary style of DUM. Will this game teleport us back to gaming's glory days or leave us wanting more modern magic? Brace yourself for the ultimate verdict. Is it Wiz or is it DUM? Listen to the First 30. I'm your host, Chad Callahan, and alongside me are the wizards that flunked out of Hogwarts, Tim Harris.
Hello.
David Marino.
My flipendo was unrivaled.
And Rick Weirdbeard Hogerhide.
I don't think anybody willingly chooses to be a Hufflepuff.
Do you think you're a Hufflepuff?
I'm a Ravenclaw through and through, but that's such a millennial, like, oh my God,
there's
that's so
three
cool.
Ravenclaws on this podcast. Get out of here, Chad.
I'm a Gryffindor through and through. I didn't know you both were Ravenclaws. I don't know why, but I thought Tim would be like a little bit Slytherin. I don't know why.
I'm sure that was probably my backup, but yeah, Ravenclaw totally fits.
Okay, I mean, I guess I can see it. They're like the brainy ones, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, but it's also supposed to be that they're like Slytherin is underhanded, Ravenclaw's cunning. Like it's the difference between being intelligent and wise. If that makes.
I get what you're saying.
That's such a Gryffindor reaction to just like,
Indeed, yes.
I like how we're treating this like it's like some type of horoscope or something like that. Like, that's such a Gryffindor thing to say, you filthy Gryffindor. I don't get along with Slytherins because I'm a Gryffindor. Yeah, like
it's like those the old Chinese placemats with the Zodiac where it's like, hang out with these people, but don't go near the monkeys.
Yeah. Oh, snake can't be next to a monkey. No. Yeah. I do. I don't know why those things kind of. I feel like in some ways it's kind of like preaching hate a little bit. You know, it's like immediately going after like. You only get along with the rabbit, not the monkeys. Okay, you can only chill that way.
Chinese Zodiac, like it's making everybody divided. That's really what we need to.
I think any horoscope, Chinese horoscopes, regular horoscopes. It's like, oh, you're a Virgo. Oh my God, get away from me.
There's a horoscope book that I have that actually lists specific birth dates that are your mortal enemy.
Oh yeah, I have
hell yeah.
I have one that like says it's what do they call it? Fatal attraction, and then another one that is like your soulmates.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So your toxic relationships versus this one's gonna work.
Yeah, I guess that's give you some options there. But
right.
Anyways, we're gonna move on because Rick has a fun game for us. We have to guess the endings of games that haven't come out yet in 2024.
Yes. And what's going to happen is I will give you a quick plot synopsis of the game and the title, of course. And we'll just kind of see if we're able as a group to, we don't need to have 3 different endings. We can all come together and decide on like one that sounds the best.
Consensus. All right.
Yeah. So this could be a group project. It doesn't have to be individual work.
Okay. Tim's going to carry. Got it.
All right. Your first game, can you guess the ending of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 just by hearing the plot? Fight your way through a modern-day Seattle on the brink of an open war as an elder vampire. Meet the power players, ally yourself, and decide who will rule the city and what the city will become. It's a 3-front siege on Seattle, where a power vacuum in the vampire court and an awakened elder at odds with a voice in their head.
Oz?
This one, so this one's interesting because from what I know of Vampire the Masquerade, the first one anyway, it's very like choices matter. Like you can get different endings depending on how you behave during the game. So I suppose like
it's like whose line is it anyways? The ending doesn't matter.
Yeah, the ending doesn't matter.
It's a chance.
Well, a lot of the times the choices don't matter. You're just working towards one of like two
savage.
endings.
The one thing we can't forget, it says multiple times that it's based in Seattle. So there has to be some hipster component of just
they go
like
to Starbucks.
Yeah. What the final vampire lives in Starbucks, I think might be a
have
valid.
To fight the mermaid. That is the Starbucks lady.
That's exactly what's going to happen. There's going to be a huge elder vampire mermaid, right? The Starbucks mermaid. All 3 groups are going to have to come together to defeat that common enemy.
And you had to fight her 2 tails.
Yep. Bam.
Because originally she had 2 tails.
All
That's
right.
the ending.
2 tails?
Yeah.
No, what if it's a giant mermaid, whatever, monolith or Goliath mermaid, and you split the tails, and that's how she gets the 2 tails.
Oh, and that's how Starbucks gets the logo. Brilliant. I like it.
And then not only that, but you what's the word? You bind her soul to the logo is the vampire mermaid. It's not just a representative. It's she's bound to that image
forever.
It's a sigil.
So we become not Howard Schultz, whatever the CEO of Starbucks is, because
I don't know.
Going to take down the power vacuum. All right. Next up, can you guess the ending of this game releasing in 2024 from its plot? It is Tekken 8. After defeating his father, Heihachi Mishima, Kazuya continues his conquest for global domination, using the forces of G Corporation to wage war on the world. Jin is forced to face his fate head on as he is reunited with his long-lost mother and seeks to stop his father Kazuya's reign of terror.
Well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
It's a fighting game, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jin has gotten control of the devil power in 8, yeah?
I have no idea. This is shots in the dark. That's why every one of these is...
Oh my God.
No.
G Company? Hold on. It's a G Company? So it's Google. All right. There's a
I was going to say Godzilla.
Right there.
Godzilla might be good.
Googlezilla?
And then, I mean, it's a fighting game, so somebody's going to get punched in the face. I would assume it's Heihachi. That's the dad. Yeah, I think the son's going to beat the shit out of his elderly father. Find him in a wheelchair. Just be like,
well, what? No, Heihachi is the grandfather in this case because Jin is Kazuya's.
Oh yeah, this is going to be beating the shit out of an old man. I'm convinced of it.
The ending is you don't get punched in the face, and you're doing the gameplay fight, but then it cuts to the cinematic, and he stops inches from his nose, and then he just gives him a big speech, and all is forgiven, and then you walk him to the sunset together.
That's a possibility, but what if
wholesome.
It goes full circle, right? Because Heihachi threw Kazuya off a cliff as a child, which is why he has a giant scar across his chest. So get this, right? We throw Heihachi off a cliff, and then Jin comes in and drop kicks his father off the cliff as well. Because he's also evil. So
he just gets the 4-foot boot off of a cliff.
We're just getting thrown off cliffs.
Cut to black. The end. That's all. I
like this ending. You know what? That's perfect ending. I'm in.
All right. Skate Story, a game releasing in 2024. Can you guess the ending? Skate Story is centered around a crystalline demon who is given a skateboard by the devil alongside the terms of a simple deal. If the demon skates to the moon and swallows it, the devil will free them. The game has a unique take on the skateboarding genre as it is set in the underworld where the demon will need to skate and grind their way through the ash and smoke of the empty lands in order to consume said moon.
I remember seeing the trailer for this. It looks so good.
That sounds amazing.
Chad's in total disbelief.
Do we have to do kick flips and stuff, though? I'm out a little bit on this one, but I don't know. Anyways, the ending, though. Do you
think that they eat the moon? Is the devil going to eat the moon?
The devil eats the moon. Actually, I feel like the best way for this to end is the most horrific ending possible. The hero can't win. Is how I think. So the devil eats the moon and then eats the guy with the skateboard, and that's the end. Sad.
It's a story of just don't take deals with the devil, essentially.
It's a story of don't try. Just give up.
God damn.
All right. Chad depressed as shit. Just no, give up. Who cares?
Give up. This is a skateboarding game. So what's going to happen is you have to skate. You're going to be skating the levels. You're trying to get to the final place. Maybe we actually go to the moon. Maybe we don't. And then you're going to have to perform a trick called Eat the Moon, which will impress the devil so much that he will forgive your sins and release your soul.
No, okay. I got what you're saying. So
that is brilliant.
You have to fiddle against the devil, but instead of a fiddle, it's a skateboard.
Skateboard fiddle.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's a skateboard trick.
You have to go how the devil, you have to outfiddle the devil, in that
the song.
You have to out-shred the devil.
Yeah. You have to out-shred the devil. Yeah.
Or you just grind the moon so hard that it explodes and pisses off God, and then he comes and beats the devil up, and he can't take his soul. Bam.
There you go. I guess Hades 2. Can you guess the ending? The main antagonist of the game will be Kronos, the Titan of Time, who has escaped his imprisonment in the underworld, captured Hades and began to wage war against Olympus. With the aid of Olympus, Melino, princess of the underworld and daughter of Hades, so it's Hades' daughter, I almost called her a son, must enter the underworld to defeat Kronos and his forces. So does Hades survive, or is it just like the daughter carrying on his legacy?
I don't think Hades ever dies in the actual lore, so I'm gonna say no. But he could be imprisoned
Forever?
For a long time, at least.
Papa's going to jail. Don't stay up for me.
Yeah. This
How
is one of those things
convenient
where
you
you
use
gotta
the
wait
word
20 years.
time.
Oh,
Yeah, see?
interesting.
Yeah.
Going
So-
back in time. Yeah.
So what I think will happen is you're going to get to the last room. You're going to be fighting Kronos, and the fight will get interrupted by this guy holding 2 blades, and he will just slaughter everyone.
And then he becomes the god of war.
Exactly.
Ares. I see. Yeah. So this game is null and void because it doesn't matter, because the next game is better.
That's how they all go.
And with that, let's talk about the actual game we are here to talk about today, because today we're playing a Doom-like FPS as if Harry Potter took LSD. This is Wizordum.
Eons have passed since the forces of evil plagued Terrabruma, when the tide of the First War was turned and the chaos was sealed within the cosmic prison. But someone has disrupted the balance and broken the seal. Now you, one of the last survivors of Wizordum, must draw upon all you've learned and drive back the chaos once and for all. The time has come. Rise up and meet your destiny.
Also, a quick reminder that you can find this on YouTube if you're not watching already and you're listening to it. You can find this at youtube.com/@first30podcast. So let's get right into it. Tim was the one playing the game, so he had the hands-on experience with it all. We all just got to watch like plebs on the side. But I really want to quickly say there's one thing that kind of sticks out, that this is a Doom-like, which I didn't know that there was such a thing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This is probably the most equivalent to OG Doom that I've ever seen. I don't play too many Doom-like games, so this is probably why I would say the most equivalent. But the first thing I want to mention is like the style. And Tim, do you want to take us through the style of this game a little bit?
So yeah, this is a extremely retro style game. So like if you're familiar with Doom at all, or old school Wolfenstein stuff, or Heretic, as David has brought up. I've never played that one, but he says it's this. All of those games, just think those super retro style, like early 3D throwbacks. If you know any of those games, that's what to expect, basically. It's not heavily stylized on its own, but like in that regard, it is.
I think the fast-paced nature of it is very Doom, because like in the original game of Doom, you're just constantly running, and then you just like move left and right. I think, is it only like you can do complete 90-degree turns in the original Doom? Is that what I'm remembering, or can you like actually like look around? I'm blanking on it.
You can look around. Yeah.
Can you? Okay,
you can
so you
look.
just can't look up and down.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. I couldn't remember if you could only do 90-degree turns. Anyways, so within this is like the one thing that is a little bit different is that everything is on a 2D plane, except they rotate towards you, so you can always see the graphics.
Yeah.
And it messes with my head. When you first played this game, first off, the field of view was 60, and it was nauseating. The problem is I wasn't even like with motion sickness. It wasn't that. It was like my brain couldn't keep up. My eyes were crossing as I was watching this. So I was like, anyone who has like video game motion sickness, turn that bitch down, because you're going to need it at least to like 75 or higher.
Yeah, I didn't experience that, but like, I guess I can understand, because everyone else seemed to have the issue with it. Like, I didn't think it was a problem, but I'm in the minority here, so.
Which is weird because you're the motion sickness guy.
I felt like as soon as you started the game up, it felt like we were stuck aim down sights. It was just like everything was super zoomed in.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. It felt like we were constantly like, it just felt wrong. And it wasn't until you turned it down to 75. I could have gone a little bit higher, to be perfectly honest, but turned it down to 75 to where I was like, oh no, this feels like an actual game now.
Well, I mean, so outside of feeling like we were all going to puke for the first 5 minutes, how did it feel to like move around in the game in general, right? Like you move at a pretty fast, I don't want to say a fast speed, but it's not like a slow walk cycle or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like you glide all over the place.
Oh yeah, no, it's very, very responsive, and like the movement feels nice. It's very, very smooth. Like there's no hitching. The only thing that might catch you off guard once in a while is like if you're not paying attention, you'll get stuck on a bush or something. But outside of that, movement's great. I don't even know why they have a walk option in this game because you're never using it. When I accidentally turned on the walk option, I was like, "What's happening?" Because everything just
was
gets
very slow.
Yeah, the movement's great though. Like it just feels real nice. Like if you can get a hands on with this, try the demo. It does have a demo. You can check it out for yourself. But yeah, the movement fluid, everything just smooth.
That's actually something to bring up real quick, that this game is technically in early access. So it's not officially out, but you can play like the 8 levels, I think you said, Rick, that they have.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get a little ahead of myself real quick on this. But like they also have like a level builder. So like, you know, there's community maps, but we'll get back to that later. So like, even though there's only 8 right now, there's a ton of stuff that like could be there in the future, plus whatever they expand upon going in the future. But let's go a little bit into the gameplay because there's a lot going on, more than we thought. Than like the typical, like, you know, Doom. Even Doom's just like run, kill, get to the end. That's it. Like there's no. There might be like maybe get some like more explosions and stuff like that, but the base of the game of Doom is just run and gun and kill.
Yeah.
But this is a lot more. Tim, do you want to take us through that a little bit?
So yeah, this game has some decent mechanics when it comes to the actual combat. There's 4 separate weapons available to you, and just a very, very good like diversity with the monsters available. We only got to see a few throughout our little playthrough, but when we tried the community maps, we got to see even more, and they do get much more complicated. But they run the gamut from melee to ranged like usual, and then you have multiple weapons. So you have your melee attack, and then you have your fire hands, where you shoot fireballs at them. It's kind of like your Gatling gun. And then there's also a freeze spell that holds things in place and makes them one-shottable. And there's some explosive bombs that are basically your grenades from any other game like this.
Yeah, it's pretty great. You got a nice little range, and at least that's the ones we've seen. I don't know if there was any more beyond that, but which maybe they add stuff in future updates, because I could see them doing like a ton of extra things like that. But within the maps, we discovered like there are like tons of secrets in there. There's like tons of items that you can go, treasures that you have to discover, and like keys to other areas. But then there's also like force fields that prevent you from getting to other areas. So like it's almost like I don't want to say it's a puzzle game, but it's like a little bit of like a try to find the next area, but you have to like unlock the secrets just to even remotely progress sometimes.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of old like Duke Nukem games where you have to get like, oh, the one key opens this door, and then you have to go here and do this, and then flip the switch to do, you know what I mean?
Evil too, yeah.
Yeah. So it's I don't know, because it's funny that, because again, we do first impressions. The first level we got through in 9 minutes, I believe is what it was. The second level was 42 minutes when we were going through.
A jump.
So like,
and a novice, by the way.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. There's definitely enough to sink your teeth into, but I don't know. Did it feel complete, like from the gameplay loop side, or, you know, how did you feel on that?
So my thing with this, right, is I am a secret whore I love secrets. You put secrets in your game, you've got me on the hook, like, because I'm gonna be looking for them. And you can find scrolls that mark the secrets on your map, which makes it even worse because now you know exactly where the secrets are kind of at.
Yeah.
So you have to go around finding them. And the secrets are extremely well hidden because in the 42 minutes we spent in a level, and there's par times on this, we didn't mention that. They have par times. The par time for the second level was 4 minutes.
Yeah.
We spent 42 minutes.
Well, to be fair, we spent 40 of those minutes trying to find out how to get to one area because Tim was demanding that we get there. So
yeah, if the gameplay loop, because the gameplay loop is basically go into the level, find the keys, get to the exit, right?
Yeah,
that is the basic gameplay loop of this game, and it feels good. I imagine if you're the type who likes speedrunning, this is probably a game you would very much enjoy because you can run into a level, and I don't know if they're all just preset. I would assume they're all preset, so you would know where things are as you're going, and then
like
things will change up a little bit combat-wise. Yeah, but basically you can speedrun or you can be a secret finder. You know, you can do either of those two things really, and you're going to enjoy it either way, in my opinion. Because if you're trying to rush this, it'll feel good.
This does feel like a completionist or speedrunners game. Like those are the two people that are going to be playing this game the most. So maybe a handful of in-betweeners.
Yeah, one of the things David pointed out when we first started up was that when you're looking in the menu, right, to select the levels, it shows and there's check marks for like each difficulty, defeating every enemy in the level, finding all the secrets, making, you know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of just over and over and over. So I feel like there's enough to go back and a reason to play levels again. Otherwise it's like, oh, I played it one time, who cares?
Yeah, because even that stuff, like Doom used to do that. It would show you kills, items, and secrets found, but it didn't matter. It was just like, here's what you did in the level. But this one has like, did you find all the secrets? You know, like tick, okay, you've completed that challenge, part-time items, kills.
It's
and then
very
there was
much
even
like
one for each difficulty, like if you beat the level on each of the difficulties.
I was gonna say it's very much like how Crash Bandicoot, like at the end of each level, you're like, oh, did I get all the Wumpa fruit? Did I get all the boxes and stuff like that? And you like actively are like upset if you didn't.
Yes.
So I think it's a little bit like that because Tim was really distraught when he found out he only got 97% of the treasure in one of the maps.
Yeah, I walked around for like an extra 5 minutes trying to find the 3% of treasure that I missed because it tells you on your map too, and it's like, no, where is it? Like, yeah, I am that person. I am the target audience for the check marks on that particular
the completionist side. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Now the other thing that I kind of wanted to ask about is did this game feel dated? Like, because it obviously uses a very stylized, not only art style, but like a lot of the conventions you kind of would expect in a modern game aren't there, right? By like design choice, right? Did it feel dated or did it still feel okay?
So that's a hard question because as a person who enjoys retro games a lot, I tend to gloss over things that are going to feel dated to most people and not really think about them. I would say overall, it feels like an older game just because it is missing some of the things you would expect in newer games. Like, you know, there is no jump button, and that's you know, I don't think it's a detriment to this game, but a lot of people like their jump button, so like, you know, try to dodge or whatever. It has everything you would expect, and there is a strafing option and stuff like that, but like it does feel like it's missing some modern sensibilities.
They're not doing that thing where they like take it, make it like look old, but has like that like modern feel. They're just literally taking the Doom like idea, and the only thing they're adding is the ability to look up and down. Is what it feels like.
It's got a pretty generous checkpoint system too, which is more new school than old school. So like I'll give it that because I died a couple of times being me, and you know, there's checkpoints everywhere, so like that's not something you see in a lot of old school games. So that's definitely something that it's a little more, you know, new-minded
quality of life. Yeah.
I think too, I wonder if some people might find it getting stale too quickly because there are no levels like within the map. you play on a single plane. Like there are areas you can look up to and there's areas you can look down to, like that one pool of water we found, that one area above it was like a throne room or something.
Yeah.
But you can't actually get to these areas. You can only play on like the floor. And then when you enter a door to go to another level, it's just a new, basically, plane.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like not being able to like go up a staircase and like look out over the level you're just in, or like, be able to get up higher to like look for something you might have missed, I wonder it would turn people away, because that's even older than Doom. That's almost like Wolfenstein, like, because there's just no elevation change. You're just on this flat level.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a game you're going to probably like more as a player if you enjoy the retro vibe. But if you like the new stuff, there's a chance, but you're probably not going to like it as much as someone who likes those older kind of games.
And I want to remind you, if you haven't already, you should go back and listen to our beautifully curated Steam list, where we give you all the best recommendations of hidden gems that you might not have heard about. And a couple of them that were at the Game Awards, surprisingly to me, because I had not expected some of them to be even remotely on there, because, I don't know. Not to say that they're bad. I'm just saying I didn't know that they were that big.
Chad, sometimes you have to put the stinky French films into the awards. Like, they just get invited no matter what.
I'm sorry. I like some of the stinky French films. I'm a fan of Amelie. All right. Are you kidding? That's a good movie. Anyways, we're going to get into the gameplay a little bit more, and we're going to talk about the secrets, because Tim, the secret whore over here, or is he a secret whore? Is he a secret whore?
Can I be both? I'm both.
They are not mutually exclusive.
He can be all of the above. But let's talk about the secrets a bit, because I feel like I was a bit confused at like what was happening, because sometimes you would hit something and that would be the entrance to the secret, and then sometimes you had to walk up into it and just like hit E and that would open a secret. But one thing I was a little disappointed at, and David was like, shoot the fireballs at the lanterns, like to see if that was unlocking something. That is a missed opportunity, because it did not work. They don't even light. So I feel like the secrets aren't really secrets. It's more of like walk around and just hit the walls, which isn't a secret to me. That's just annoying. It reminds me of like playing old school RPGs where you're just like, oh, there's something in the wall, I had to find it, and you just hit like A on the entire wall to see if you could find like hidden stuff. I hate that kind of thing. I want to see like things.
Explain what these secrets are. Like, it's parts. So in a bunch of areas in the level, you can click on one of the walls, and the wall like pushes back, and there's like treasure or whatever hidden behind there. And it's additional. You don't need it to finish the game or the levels or whatever, but it is one of those tracked metrics we were mentioning.
Yeah. So throughout there's a ton of these, but there's no indication without the map, with like the unlocked map that explains where these secrets are. So I was like trying to see, is there like a slight difference in texture on the walls? No. Is there like some type of special thing you need to do to unlock this thing? No, other than hitting it. I kind of hate it. What I thought it was at first, I kind of liked it. When you walk, well, you walk up to some of them were like paintings. And I was like, oh, some of the paintings are the secrets. Yeah. That I'm fine with. But when they're just walls, I checked out. I think I was irritated about that.
Yeah, it was definitely, as a testament to how hard some of these secrets were to find. Spent 42 minutes in a par 4-minute level and found 5 of the secrets out of 13.
I mean, I wouldn't say they're hard. I just think it's not.
They are hard to find.
Well, they're hard to find, but that's because there's no like logic to it. It's just hit randomly and hope that you find it. Like I'd rather the way me and Dave were talking about it, where it's like, oh, there's logic to it. Like you have to unlock this and you go ding, and then like opens the area. Like I want those things. I want like to use my brain and puzzles and things like that. There's
you
no
want Zelda puzzles.
I want Zelda. I want Lara Croft. I want Tomb Raider. I want all these types of things. Like they could easily do, and they don't have to do a ton of it. They could reuse some of it in like unique ways. Like maybe you could like shoot up a lantern that's like in a hole that is kind of hard to see. Fine, but that part irked me, that it was just like like push E on wall. That's
Yeah,
boring. That's
I don't disagree.
baseline terrible.
I know why they have the
Doom.
secrets like they do. It's just because of
Yeah.
the old school aesthetic. But like, I wouldn't mind more Zelda-esque
Modern-ing?
puzzles. I guess
Yeah.
we'll make it just like Chad said. But like,
Well, I
you
think
know,
even
they need something.
without like I have to go back and like really take a look at which walls were secrets. But even in Doom, like the texture would be a slightly different color
Yeah.
or like misaligned, and like you would know, hey, that looks weird. Push it. And if any of these walls do have that, they're all different. So it's not like something
not
where
universal.
each secret is going to have the same crack decal. Where like, oh, hey, that's the crack secret. Okay, go over there and open it up. But at least the ones where like after Chad noticed something, the ones that we started pushing were slightly different than everything else. Like the one secret had a giant brick right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
There was the one that was a face. The other one, well, the one that was by that pool of water kind of just looked like a destroyed wall. So I don't know about that one. That one might have been like really hidden.
I just feel, I don't know, it felt like I never want to be like having to overcome frustration. I should feel challenged, but there's a difference between being challenged and being frustrated, and the secrets felt more frustrating to find, interact with, than challenging of like, ooh, I feel like I have a big brain because I figured out how to do this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even especially after they got revealed, because it's like, oh, there's a secret right there. It's like, well, why can't I get, like, I'm going all around this area on the map and like nothing is working. Like, where do you approach this secret from? It's right there on the map. How do you get this?
Yeah.
You know, I wish they had a better indicator, and they might. Maybe we just missed something.
Totally possible.
Yeah.
It's us, after all.
It took me how long to figure out you had to press E to interact with the secrets? 'Cause I thought you just had to punch the wall, but actually it was E. And I think that's just because of playing so many newer games. Because like in newer games, if you can interact with something 9 times out of 10, it just pops up on the screen. Interact.
Actually, that's another thing that irked me. And I'm gonna go right into open grievance, even though we haven't talked about level builder. We'll go around back to it. But another open grievance I have is like there's no tutorial on how to do anything, which like no, sometimes I'm like, okay, whatever. But there's a difference between hand holding and trying to tell you stuff and like outwardly just like not giving you any information about things. It's like, how would I have known that T and R would have switched between my consumables? I wouldn't until Tim went into the information and saw all the key bindings. You know what I mean? Like it just didn't make sense. Maybe it would have been a little bit easier if you were on like a controller, because there's limited buttons and you're just gonna press them all and see what they do. But like on keyboard, like that just seems asinine to like have so many options and like not tell you any way to play the game like at all. Not even like just a short like, here's what this does, here's what that does. Like you could press E and it opens secrets. Like even if it's 2 minutes, that's all we really needed. And it's
Or even
all
just having like the key next to the symbol on on your HUD, where it's like you can swap that.
Exactly.
Or you just design your first level like Mega Man X, where it forces you to do the things you have to do, teaches you all the keys
That could be a
immediately. and you're
symptom
good.
of its early accessness.
Yeah.
I guess, but I feel like usually that's something that you want to put in right away as an introduction to your game on how to play. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a bit of a detriment on their end. I don't know if the demo is the same. It's just like go in and just like fuck around.
It's probably just like the first couple levels.
Yeah. I don't know. But it just feels like a missed opportunity for me. But that was just my bug.
Let me say, I because you mentioned a little bit, I think that level builder or the level editor is crazy. It felt you made the joke that it felt like The Sims. It did. Like there was a flat ground. You can change the texture. You can do the ambiance and what kind of a room it's going to be, and enemy placements, and hide some of the enemies. Like again, is it as complicated as like what you could do in Unity 5? No, but it's still like really good. Like I think that there's enough there for what it is, that this is going to be a game that will be carried by that kind of like community support of stuff that people are making.
Because the games that we played through the community were 100 times better than the actual game that we played.
Stop! Don't say
favorite.
No, I think they know that. To be
My
honest,
favorite
that's why they
map
put it in
was the one where we were going through the cultist sanctuary that was made by the community. I haven't played any of the later maps. Don't get me wrong, so I can't talk too much trash. But my favorite map was a community map by far.
Oh yeah, and then the second one was a Pac-Man clone. It was great. Love it.
I could see this turning into something like Little Big Planet, where the campaign really only exists to show you what you can do with these
How to
tools.
play. Fair enough.
You know, like the devs are going through, they're designing a campaign. They probably want to make this game, but at the same time, they're developing stuff, throwing it in the editor, and just being like, okay, let's see what you do with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game, if they expand upon the editor specifically, I think this game has legs. I think it really does. Like I mentioned with The Sims, it's very much easy plug and play. Like it takes a second. Even Tim, we were just it felt overwhelming. But once we got in there and we were like putzing around, like, oh no, it took 2 seconds to understand like how to play something.
You know, it might be cool too, and it'd probably be a lot more work than what they've implemented already. But have the editor basically play like Minecraft, where you're in the level. And you could just like, or Gary's mod, I guess, would be another parallel where you're just in the level and like, oh, put a guy there, wall, door, you know, maybe over the overhead view for like the gameplay logic so you can set stuff up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think like being like on the ground and being able to like put stuff around in the level would help, you know, kind of get the feel for how it's laid out, how it's progressing.
Yeah, it does kind of suck because there is an option to quote unquote play your game so you can kind of understand like what you placed, but you have to go back out to the level builder, which is like kind of a top-down view, and like fix things and then go back in to see if it worked the way you wanted it to. And I think my assumption is it starts you from the beginning again. So you have to like walk all the way to the part. So like that's kind of annoying. Like, especially
you
if
could
built
just
a big
move
one.
the player start zone if that's a worry though. Like you just go out.
That's annoying.
Yeah, while you're designing
one click.
It is one click, but then you have to like do it every time. It's just
you have to do it. Like exactly, it's doing it.
I don't want to.
Here's the thing, though: the kind of person that is going to put the time into making
a level
map or a series of maps is not going to be bothered by needing to move the player start.
I would.
Well, that's because you're not the type of person who's going to be making maps.
That's fair.
Tim, do you have any other like open grievances? Is there anything that bothered you specifically?
Honestly, I don't really think I do. I think the only giant grievance that I had was just like the secrets are frustrating, as you put it. They are. they feel frustrating to find even if you know where they are. So that's my main thing. But yeah, everything else in my opinion just felt good. So I can't really complain too much.
All right. Well, I guess that's it on that one. We're going to get right into the final say and see if we're going to continue this or not. Since Tim played the game, he will be going last. So we will start with Rick. Okay. Would you continue?
It's cool. I might have it like to play on an airplane ride or like,
I can see that.
You know, like, oh, it's on right now. Oh, you can put it on Steam Deck. Take it on a Steam Deck for
playable on Steam Deck
for like a long car ride, or I'm stuck at the doctor's office. But am I keeping it downloaded on my PC or Steam Deck? Sorry, no, I will not be.
Okay, so so you're not continuing at all?
I mean, like if there's you know how sometimes you go back through your catalog and you're like, oh, I haven't played this game in 2 years. I'll re-download it and see what it's like again. Like, oh, Plants vs. Zombies for the 12th time, but I haven't played it in, like forever. Yeah, sure. Right. I mean, again, it'll be there, but I won't be like actively looking to play this game again.
Fair enough. All right, David, Wizordum, would you continue?
Yeah, absolutely. This is an easy sell for me.
Really?
Simple, uncomplicated first-person shooter. Let's go. Just about the only thing I'd like to see implemented is just more challenges. Yeah. You know, having the kills, items, secrets is really nice. Dusk has a really good medal system where each level you can do pacifist, you can do low tech, which is just the melee option, completionist, and there's one other. I don't remember what the fourth one is, but you can do additional things on top of secrets, items, kills. That would be great, you know, to have as bonus things to do in each level. But yeah, even if it didn't have that, yeah, this looks really great. I'm going to download the demo and I'll probably end up picking this up sometime later.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Now my turn. Will I continue Wizordum?
Here, Chad, I'll answer for you. No.
No. No. Okay. Here's the thing. Like, one, this isn't my type of game to begin with, but the one thing that would have swayed me is if I too am a secret whore, but I'm also a secret whore where I like to enjoy, I like to think about what I'm doing. Like, again, I really like the puzzles of of Portal and things like that, and trying to figure out where I'm going, and I can see where I need to be, and somewhere within this realm, I have to do something to get there. Like, I like that. This isn't that. It is literally just let me touch every wall in this fucking entire area and hope that something opens. That's not fun to me. Like, I have zero interest in stuff like that. So for that alone, honestly, I wouldn't touch it. It's just more frustrating than anything. So sorry. I mean, I probably would have been on the fence before it had this, but I'm totally out, so I will not continue this game. It doesn't give anything other than the level builder to me for anything interests. Tim, Wizordum, would you continue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Big
would.
shock.
Yeah, I know, big shocker. Yeah, David, much like myself, easy sell. Anyone who enjoys old school Doom is going to like this game.
Or Chex Quest.
Yeah,
or Chex Quest.
As they brought up during the stream. I've never played that one, but yes. If you enjoy any games like that, you're going to like this game. I don't know how much staying power it's going to have for you depending on how you feel about games like this, but the secrets aren't a huge selling point because, as everyone has pointed out, it's basically just a test of how frustrated can you get before you give up. Because there, as far as we can tell, there's no indicators. Maybe they'll add them. This is still early access, so I'm sure they're going to see stuff. I am excited to see additions to the game, though. I would like to see some extra weapons and stuff. Right now, there's 4, and they all work very, very differently, and I enjoyed using each of them. I wasted my bombs because we were trying to hope for secrets that weren't there.
We were trying to figure out secrets.
We'll learn.
But overall, yeah, this was a very positive experience. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing what the community brings to the table, and I really want to see what else they add during this early access period. Hoping it doesn't get abandoned, because that would suck. Because it's fun, and it's not that expensive. So yeah, if you are a Doom fan at all, I would advise at least checking out the demo, because it is a good time.
Yeah. And with that, like Tim said, there is a demo, so you can check that out. And if you want to buy the game, it is available on Steam. I'm pretty sure that's the only place you can get it for $14.99. So you can go over there, especially since it's early access, so it probably won't be available on everything until it's beyond that. But thank you for listening to the first 30. And again, if you want to see this on YouTube and see our beautiful faces, and you can go over and see the live stream gameplay and see it firsthand instead of playing it yourself, you could do that. It's over at youtube.com/@first30podcast.